providing resources and comfort to caregivers. This is Caregiver Crossing.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Caregiver Crossing, and we are grateful that you're here. If this is your first time joining us, I always feel funny saying that because even if it's not your first time, Caregiver Crossing is still a show brought to you by Joy's House, presented in partnership with Cardon and Associates, and we're right here every single week to talk with you about all things caregiving. I am Tina McIntosh in studio with Terry Stacy.
Hi.
And Noah Taylor.
Hello.
All right. So any big news from the week? Anybody? Anything you want to share?
Can't think of anything. Everybody's gone back to school. Fair's over.
Yeah,
It's true.
I'm bummed about the fair being over.
Oh, well, me too.
What's your favorite thing you had to eat?
Oh, my favorite thing I had to eat. You know, I'm really sad I didn't get to try the deep fried Oreo pickle. But my favorite is always the lemon shake-up. I know that's not food, but...
Ooh, did you try the lemon shake-up beer this year?
No. Oh, I saw that, though, but I didn't try it. I
Pretty
really wanted
refreshing. I'll use those words. Good.
Lemon shake-up beer? Why didn't I know?
Lemon shake-up beer, and they also did a cotton candy beer.
I saw
Nope.
it was a
It was
pineapple.
from Sun King.
There was a pineapple whip one, too.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
The pineapple whip.
Yeah, I heard that was really
Lemon
good.
That
shake-up
sounds
was
great.
a couple years ago. Anyway, they make...
You?
It's good.
Miss Indiana State Fair?
I enjoyed the bison burger, which they called the Yes Sir burger
Yeah.
after the Pacers
Yes,
this year.
sirs.
And it was a half a pound of a bison burger, pimento cheese, bacon on a giant on Texas toast.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I mean, it was just a good burger. It was just one of the best burgers I've ever had. Pimento cheese is in right now. It's having a
It really
moment.
is. I've seen it a lot
I
lately.
like spicy pimento
I do,
cheese.
too.
It's good.
As I get older, I like spicy things. Is that because I'm losing all my taste buds?
Maybe.
That might be
But that's
part of it.
okay.
You know, I got some old lady things settling in. You want to hear about them real quick?
I kinda
always
do.
Well, I lost
Oh,
a tooth a
no.
few years ago, and I didn't replace that. So there's that. I carry
have one of those too.
I carry my little my puppy, my miniature dachshund, in a bag, like
Oh,
in
he's like a little
sling,
purse. Little purse.
and
dog?
I don't care what anybody thinks.
It's okay.
Um,
That's not really old lady life.
I have some fake flowers in some pots out front of my house, and they're pretty.
I only have fake flowers this year.
Easy to take care of.
And I'm telling you, has it changed your life?
Changed
It
my
has
life.
changed my life.
And you know how many people have said those flowers are beautiful? I'm like, go closer. No, go closer. Touch
Smell
it.
them.
Yeah, like lick it. That thing's not real. I got them on
love
TikTok. We talked about TikTok last week.
Everything's there. Yeah.
I got them on TikTok.
First
So-
year I've ever done that, though, for me. I mean, truly. And I just love it. I mean, it saves me time and energy. And they're
mean,
beautiful.
It's so hot that all the flowers are just dying.
Not mine.
Yeah.
They look
Not mine.
great.
Me
They look
too.
really good.
Yeah, I mean, so it's Terry. I am on your heels, sister.
I'm
Like it is.
telling you.
It is happening, and strangely, I'm just embracing it. I also find I'm starting to dress in some kind of a theme. Like I've never dressed up for anything. Like I'm not. If it's
What are
Halloween,
you talking about?
Well, if it's Halloween, I'm like I'm not wearing a pumpkin. Or if it's Valentine's Day, forget the red hearts. And now all of a sudden, I'm like. I'm sporting the shirts. I have a shirt that says "That's bananas" with a banana on it, and I like
All
it.
themed.
And when I wear it out, people are like, "That's bananas." I'm like, "I know. How'd
That's
you
so
see
much fun.
that? Past my dog in a sling." I don't care. I don't care. I like it. Noah
I like it, too.
really
I'm
likes
telling
it.
you.
You feel
It
validated.
makes me so happy that she's crossed the line.
I've crossed the line. Whatever.
She's gone over.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny about your
mean,
banana shirt.
That's bananas. I
That is-
love it.
That is quite bananas.
It is. It is.
Oh, dear.
My daughter's birthday a couple weeks ago. I told you we had the teenies and weenies birthday
good
party,
theme, yeah.
martinis and hot dog bar, and I got a shirt that said Maya, the woman, the myth, the legend, and I wore it with pride.
Oh, that's so sweet, though.
Is it?
That's so much fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
Gosh, she's
Or is
changed
it-
so much. I'm telling you, she's changed so much. The sabbatical. I don't know what happened, but seriously,
Oh, I'm gonna start getting my
I
nails
love that.
done. They're gonna be like slices of fruit. Anyway, speaking of food, do you guys know much about this? There's this restaurant called Pizza Abilities.
where is that?
Say it with me.
Abilities.
Pizza Abilities.
Yeah, I think it's in California actually, but we have some that are like this here. This place, Pizza Abilities, Noah found. And I'd like you to tell us about them.
I would love to. So I did find them on TikTok. Pizzaabilities is proving TikTok is proving that a pizza shop can also be a place for inclusion and empowerment, not just for food. Every employee has an intellectual or developmental disability, and each is trained to take orders, prepare food, and greet customers.
I love it. They've
I do
got
too.
artwork that's made by their staff and regulars, and the whole place is really about inclusion.
Yeah, about inclusion and what you can do instead of what you can't do.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. We have we've got a handful of great places like that here in central Indiana. And my first comes to mind is, do you remember, I think Arc of Indiana and a couple of other organizations are managing a hotel where I believe it's in Muncie.
I'm looking it up. Keep going.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, because this has been a while ago, but they're still doing it. But they actually hire those that have maybe special needs of some sort. They do the train them in the hotel and hospitality industry. And the hotel really was taken over by this great organization. They're great. Mama Birds is another one in Plainfield. Young women that it's a bakery.
I'm going to look these places up.
And they also do the same thing in hiring and it's inclusion, the training and the ability that they're offering for young people that maybe thought they did in their families, that thought maybe the kids might not work anyplace around here, or what will they do? There's several of them. A place in Kokomo, there's a car dealership, a group. And they also, I just talked to a gentleman that was hired by them who has a disability. And they send him to school. They send these kids to school, mechanic school, teach them what they need to know, and then hire them.
I love it.
I do too.
Pizza Ability, they have something called the Supreme Ability Pizza. I mean, they name some of their pizzas.
Yeah, it's a theme. They got the good theme going.
I love it.
I would wear the T-shirt now.
Yeah, we have to get Tina the T-shirt to wear.
I think it's wonderful. And I think, I don't know, for folks who are living with these disabilities, which, let's be honest, we all have some kind of a diagnosis. I mean, in there, right? You just can't always see it on our faces or hear it when we're talking with each other. But for folks that you can, to earn your income, to have your independence, to have your purpose, to be able to come home and know that you took care of other people and had a job, like how just awesome that is. So if you want Noah to pay for you to go to Pizzability in Alpine, California, just email him directly at noah@joyshouse.org. And he will absolutely not take you there, but it will be fun to bombard him with all of the emails of those of us who want to go. I want to go.
I want to go too.
I'm going to
really
email you
go
right now.
Them.
Well, let's go to Mama Birds in Plainfield.
Yeah.
I don't know about them. I'm going to look them up and make sure they're
really
they're
cool.
there and open. But I like it. I think this is wonderful. I've always wanted. I know we have to take a break. I've always wanted to build onto Joy's House in Broad Ripple and have a little coffee and tea and bakery shop next to us where our guests are making all of the things. So if you've got, I don't know, $5-10 million that you want to give, email me at tina@joyshouse.org.
And we'll make our own Pizzabilities.
All right, let's go.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you by Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. With 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest and more than 4 decades of senior living experience, Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us for more information and to find a community near you. Stay put. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break.
Good morning. Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing. We are really excited. Noah and I are in studio and get to talk with somebody who we're really honored that he's able to set aside a few minutes to be with us here on Caregiver Crossing. His name is Dr. Zaidi, and he is the Plan Performance Medical Director for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And so Dr. Zaidi has dedicated his career in helping older adults and wants us to stay healthier through coordinated care and preventative screenings. And we're also going to talk about what support looks like for the whole person. And so he is at Anthem, and he works very closely with their care teams and community partners to make sure that we are all getting the right care at the right time and in the right place. And so we just want to take a moment to pause and say, Dr. Zaidi, thank you for being here. Thank you for the work that you do. Good morning.
Good morning. It is my honor and pleasure to join you, and excited to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here. Our show here, Caregiver Crossing, is for family caregivers, and these kind of topics are really important to our listeners, and we learn so much from people like you. And I think it's important to start with a little bit about who you are personally, because we hear things like Plan Performance Medical Director, and that's big, right? You do that for Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. That's a big job. Who are you as a person?
Wow. I, I I am just like any other person. I'm like your next door neighbor who has a family. I have two kids. One is getting ready to go to college, and that's exciting. Yeah. And I have a wife who is also a physician, and we've been I've known her since we were in med school, so
I love that.
we go back a long way. And
you went to IU, is that right, doctor?
Actually, I grew up in Pakistan. Okay. And I went to medical school in Pakistan at an institution called the Aga Khan University in Karachi. And then I came to IU to do my residency training in internal medicine. My wife initially started her residency training in St. Louis and then moved to Indianapolis. And we've been in Indianapolis ever since. And it's been an amazing place to live and raise a family.
We are so fortunate to have you in Indianapolis. We're so fortunate to have you in your role at Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I just appreciate you sharing a little bit about you personally, because I don't know, Noah, I feel like sometimes when I meet a doctor, I forget that they're a human and, fall into my own role and hit the medical stuff. And it's like, if I would recognize that we're both people, I might relax a little bit.
Yeah, we can connect a little bit easier.
We can connect differently. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Zaidi, you sound like I'd love to have you as my neighbor, now you are by training, are you a hospitalist? Is that the correct term?
Yes. So I completed my residency training in internal medicine. And as an internist, we are trained to look at the whole person, but we take care of adults exclusively, so 18 years and older. And a hospitalist is a type of doctor who focuses on the care of people in the hospital. So you might see an internist as your primary care physician in the office on a regular appointment. But in times of distress, when someone ends up in the hospital, sick enough to be in the hospital, then they are these days usually taken care of by a hospitalist. So what that means is that these are doctors who do not have an outpatient practice. They just focus on the care of people in the hospital. So it's an especially vulnerable time for people when they're in the hospital. So I take that responsibility that much more seriously. As a hospitalist, you see people in the most vulnerable periods, and I take it as a big responsibility to help them through that period and time in the hospital.
Well, and you're hearing the voice, by the way, of Dr. Zaidi, who is the Plan Performance Medical Director for Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And talking about him being a hospitalist, Dr. Zaidi, one of the things we hear is that care coordination for people in or out of the hospital, but care coordination becomes more challenging as we age. And do you have any insight on why that might be?
As we age, we tend to accumulate these chronic conditions that are there with us every day. So these would be conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney disease, and so as we get older, oftentimes, we start off with one, such as diabetes, and as we're growing older, we might develop complications of diabetes, and these could be things like heart disease or blockages in the blood vessels in the legs, or the nerves getting affected. So it is in the natural course of things for us to accumulate more and more medical conditions, and a lot of times they play off one another, and just having multiple medical conditions makes one's health care that much more complex, because you have one medication affecting the other, and so on and so forth. So the complexities arise, and then as we're getting older, our abilities tend to decline, sometimes slowly and imperceptibly, and sometimes we notice it right up front when something has changed. And all of these things interact with each other and make that care more complex. And
So,
go ahead.
Oh no, thank you. So when you're leading folks and you're coaching folks and setting all the policies and things into place at Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, how do you take that into account? When you're working with maybe the coordinators or the case managers there.
It's the popular phrase of "it takes a village," and I think it's really important for all of us to have a sense of community in how we exist, and that involves opening yourself up to accepting help from others, and there may be times when you may need to help those around you. And so as an older adult, it's always I would emphasize community, and I would emphasize recruiting loved ones in helping you understand some of the things that are going on with you. That might include involving them in discussions with healthcare providers like doctors, or also in discussions with care coordinators and nurses, because there are so many different things to keep in mind. And also it's always a good idea to have an extra pair of ears, so that there's always someone to help you remember all the different things that may have been discussed, or may be important for you to keep in mind, or important for you to plan. So,
Dr. Zaidi, you talk about, and we're going to have to take a break here in just a second, but we will be back with Dr. Zaidi from Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. You talk about a village. And when we do come back for this next segment, we want to talk about that village and them helping with some of that routine preventative care and some screenings and things that you recommend for us to be doing as well. So we are going to take a break. Stick around here in Caregiver Crossing. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you weekly by Joyce House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. We are every week to bring you support, education, and hopefully a good laugh. Visit joycehouse.org to connect with us, hear past episodes, learn more about caregiver support resources in the community, and much more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break.
We're back on Caregiver Crossing. I'm Tina McIntosh in studio with Noah Taylor, and we are continuing our conversation with Dr. Zaidi, who is the Plan Performance Medical Director for Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And if it sounds like a big job, it's because it is. It's just a really big job. And so we're grateful for the work that he does and just who we're getting to know him as a person. We're grateful for who he is. And so, Dr. Zaidi, thanks for sticking around. I know there are some key topics that you want to hit, and preventative care, routine preventative care is one of those things. What does that mean from your perspective?
So regular appointments with your primary care provider would include things like checking your blood pressure, checking your weight, looking for conditions that may develop as we get older. So these may include checking for cholesterol, looking for signs where if there's any risk or of osteoporosis or bones getting weaker, because those are things that, if detected early and treated early, would prevent big complications down the road. Cancer screenings are a big ones. So making sure that we are up to date with our screenings on colon cancer and breast cancer, and those are things that you could expect to have done at your regular primary care physician. Paying attention to seasonal vaccinations is another big one. Getting a flu shot every year, it hurts, and you might feel a little bit down for a day after that, but it prevents serious illness from influenza infections. And similarly, pneumonia vaccines are important to get every year, and to prevent serious pneumonia infections. So people might still get pneumonia, but it may not land them in the hospital, which would have otherwise done.
So I want to go back to the routine preventative care, because one of the things that I know you talk about is building trust with your primary care provider and how that leads to better health management. I want listeners to understand that if you don't trust your primary care physician, and there's no other option in their network, in their, in their practice, there's not a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner that you really love, then leave them. Line somebody else up, find somebody else within your network. And it might not be easy, but I know from my own experience, it's worth it. When you trust your primary care physician and trust this village that I know you talk about, Dr. Zaidi, everything changes. You give, maybe different information better, if that makes sense. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree. And I think trust is a basic foundation in all of our human relationships.
Yes.
And especially in relationships where you are opening up your vulnerabilities, where one person inherently has a little bit more information about things. So in this situation, absolutely, I think there needs to be a trusting relationship between you and your primary care provider. And I agree, if you don't feel comfortable, you have to find someone you can trust and feel comfortable with.
And quite frankly, with your talking about you being the plan performance medical director for Anthem, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, for me, I'm a part of that Anthem network. I can talk with my care coordinator or my nurse navigator. And if I'm having an issue, I can talk with them. And that's part of what they can do to help guide me to finding better care. So it's just you and me, Dr. Zaidi, for a minute. I'm over 50. Do I really have to get my shingles vaccination?
Now, okay. I would highly recommend it, because shingles is very painful.
All right. And
it's not fun. And I tell you that shingles vaccine, yes, you're going to feel terrible the next day. And you'll be reaching out for your Tylenol, but I have seen people with shingles and they feel terrible for weeks.
All right, here's the deal. And I'm not kidding you when I say this, and our listeners can hold me to this. I'm going to get the shingles vaccination because you just told me to. I don't want to get it. I have put it off for years, and it's so silly. I just need to get it. So because Dr. Zaidi told me to do it, Noah, I'm going to do it, and I'm not kidding. So, Dr. Zaidi, we've got your
Thank
number.
you.
If I have problems, I'm calling you. I will not call you. I promise. I promise.
So I appreciate I appreciate it, and I would love to hear how it went for you. So please do let me know.
I will not bother you. But here's what I think is really important is, people like me who say, oh, I'm going to put that vaccination off. And you're saying, don't put it off, because we see what happens when people get the thing, whether it be the flu, the pneumonia, COVID, 19, the shingles, whatever it is. And it's a powerful tool for us to stay healthy longer. I see the same thing with people with these essential screenings you're talking about. Well, I don't want to do a colonoscopy. I don't seem to be having any problems, or I feel great. Why would I do the prostate, exam? And I think what I'm hearing you say is do the exams. I mean, it's covered by your insurance. It's important to do it even when you're feeling good. This is part of preventative care. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so one important thing I wanted to mention, when we talk about screenings in by definition in the medical world are tests you would do for somebody when they're not having any problems. So these are things that you would do because somebody is at risk because of their age or family history or gender. So those are things that the tests that are important to do because you may be at risk of that condition, but not exhibiting any problems.
Okay, so I want everybody, I know we have to close out here, Noah, but I want everybody to hear that very clearly. And what Dr. Zaidi is saying is do the screenings, do the vaccinations, do the screenings when you're healthy. Do it before you have a problem, because too many of us, me, shingles, yeah. Noah, we wait too long. And so Dr. Zaidi, again, for those of you who maybe did not get this in the beginning, Dr. Zaidi is the Plan Performance Medical Director for Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. I have to tell you, talking with you makes me feel more comfortable in the decisions I'm making in my own life and being a member of the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield family. So I know we have to go, but I just want to thank you not only for your time today, but for the really important work you do for so many of us in the community. Thank you.
And thank you for having me, and thank you for being an Anthem member. It's certainly our goal to help improve the health of humanity and make healthy living easier for all of us.
You're doing it. You're doing it. All right. For the rest of you, stick around. We'll be back here in just a moment on Caregiver Crossing.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you weekly by Joyce House in partnership with Cardon & Associates. We're here every week to bring you support, education, and hopefully a good laugh. Visit joycehouse.org to connect with us, hear past episodes, learn more about caregiver support resources in the community, and much, much more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more right after the break.
Everybody, it's Terry, Tina. No.
Noel? Who's Noel?
Nolan?
Did she just
He's
get
on
lazy
Felicity.
and couldn't even say your name? Noah.
Well, how come we always have to call him by his name?
Well,
Call me whatever your heart
I
desires.
like calling
All right,
him different
Noel.
names all the time.
Nolan?
I think it's more fun. Anyway, we're here with you for a few more minutes anyway. Kimya Dawson, is that how we say her name? Kimya Dawson, the indie folk singer-songwriter best known for her work on the Juno soundtrack and as half of the Moldy Peaches.
Terry's favorite band, the Moldy Peaches.
And I've got one in the car right now, has turned some of her hardest experiences into really deeply human songs. And she lives with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That is advanced lipedema and osteoarthritis conditions that cause chronic pain, limit mobility, and have changed the way she tours and performs. You've been looking up some of her TikTok work, haven't you?
Yeah, but here's the deal. I remember her, I think, because of the Juno soundtrack.
Yeah,
she
that
was,
I know.
Bouncy and wild, right?
Yeah.
In like a great way, like very kind of alternative, folky kind of a vibe to her.
Hippie.
Absolutely.
Kind of a
Yeah.
hippie vibe.
Yeah. And now because of this Ehlers Danlos, how does it change?
So I found a video that she actually posted on TikTok with some of her own words kind of describing this journey that she's been through. And when she first started performing, she would jump around a lot. She would be performing, dancing, jumping in the crowd. But because of these diagnoses, now she performs in a scooter or in a wheelchair, and has very different movements within her performance now.
Well, this Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it weakens the connective tissue, and it joint instability and fragile skin and early arthritis. And I cannot imagine, the lipedema, that also causes the fat buildup, right?
Right.
Isn't that what causes the fat buildup in the arms and legs?
Oh, I was trying to, in my brain, see what that would look like.
Yeah, and
Now I know what
it
you're
can't go down.
talking
Like you've
about.
seen people, like maybe their ankles or their calves, it's kind of settled in there, and so that alone makes things really challenging. And they're stiff and you're swollen, and
no cure.
I don't think there's a cure. Is there probably some stuff to help you cope, but not a cure?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And Kimya often performs seated now, sometimes adjusting guitar tunings to reduce hand strain, so that she doesn't have to move her arms in those intricate ways. Her concerts have been more intimate now, with pauses to tell stories about this journey and to let the music breathe, to have a little moment without some of that extra movement that isn't totally needed for her performance, which is still incredibly beautiful.
But has not affected her voice at all.
No, she's still got an incredible voice, and she's been very, very open about this journey and about everything that she's been through in this life. And something that she shared that I thought was really beautiful is the ongoing grief that she goes through, but also that's paired with triumph, and that grief and triumph go hand in hand, and they don't have to be one or the other. You can experience both at the same time.
Well, and the reality is, during her coping, I think it was during her coping, she had a near fatal drug overdose as well. And so she, woke up from a coma and started her recovery. And she's been really open about that, that sobriety and the loss of her friends to addiction and illness, and just how that continues to affect her to this day. Did you have something that you wanted us to read?
Yeah, real quick, I'd like us to read an excerpt for one of her TikTok captions. I've seen comments and whole Reddit threads making fun of this body I have now. Words so mean I almost wanted to quit everything and hide, but my fat disabled mom and my fat disabled aunt Patrice didn't fight the fights they fought for me to throw in the towel at the young age of 52 and a half. So I will watch point of view videos of people flying down huge flights of stairs on their bikes, since I can no longer fly down huge flights of stairs on my bike, and I will roller skate and ski and climb trees and do high ropes courses in my dreams. And I'll keep scooting along and singing songs and going on adventures and being loud and being visible and being inspired by all of the rad disabled in my life and beyond.
Wow. And she's probably, did you say 52?
52 and a half is when she
I didn't know how
wrote
old
that.
she was
Beautiful.
when she was 52.
I know, such a beautiful sentiment. And I love the idea that grief and triumph really do live together hand in hand.
So listen, I'm going to keep talking about my sabbatical as long as it is important. And one of the things that I did is I went back to therapy. I've mentioned this before. And we did this thing that we ended up calling a body narrative. And I went through every decade of my life. I did a little diagram, so like a little girl or a teenage girl or this body now, every decade. I'm 53 now. And I mapped out any surgeries, any major infection, any breaks in my bones, any stitches. And I color coded them. And then I took them to my therapist and we kind of overlapped them to see where now I have, osteoarthritis. Oh, that was from softball. Or where I had a car accident when I was 18. No wonder that hip hurts me now, or, whatever. Mm-hmm. But my 40s, I bawled my eyes out doing my 40s because it was just, my body was mutilated. And Terry, you were there with me through all of that, but mutilated head to toe. And just like what Kimya was saying in there, like, I know there are other people in my life that look at me and say, oh, well, she's fat now. Or, oh, she doesn't keep up with herself the way that she used to. You're right. But when I look at everything that my body has gotten me through, I am so grateful for this 53-year-old fat body. And if fat is the worst thing that comes out of it and you don't like it, don't look at it.
Right.
Right?
Look away.
I hear Kimya saying the same thing, and that really resonates. And I think it's what she is doing with her voice and her body and her gift of song and clearly poetry is beautiful.
It is beautiful. We've talked about having a scar fest or a tattoo fest
yes.
or a scar fest. To me, scars are beautiful. They're beautiful things that you have that happened to you and you survived. Those were moments in your life that make you who you are.
Why don't we stop
And
talking about a
scars-
Scar Fest and just do it?
Well, people have said to me, no, we don't want a Scar Fest. That's just showing a bad time in your life. Well,
No.
it's a time you survived. You know, you're scarred from being opened up or for whatever it is, or you've had mastectomies or whatever it could be. I mean, those are part of who you are today, and they're beautiful things. And you should be proud and show off those scars.
That's it.
Because I mean, I'm
I'm taking my top off right now.
I think
I'm so scarred up.
If you
We're
want to
gonna
show
tell
off
the
your
story.
time.
I'm taking it. Noah, look away if you don't want to
I'm
see it.
looking away.
I'm taking it off.
They're beautiful. That's who you are.
Yeah.
It's very true.
And you should not be. No, I don't want you to see that scar. When people have to have surgeries, I've asked them. You know, can I see your scar?
Yes.
I mean, that's a war wound.
Well,
That
Kimya
anyway, you
Dawson, man,
survived.
like
Thank you so much, Kimya.
what a leader,
Yeah.
what a beautiful spirit. I hope you
Yeah.
need to send her this.
I
You know,
will.
Send
I
her
will.
this segment
Yes.
and tell her she's really inspired us, and I'm sure so many people who are listening to us now and listening to her. Just absolutely, thank you, Noah.
Yeah, thank
Well
you,
done.
Kimya.
All right, that's it. We've got to go.
gotta go.
If you need anything from us, email me at tina@joyshouse.org. Very quickly, just want to say thank you to Cardon and Associates with 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest. More than 40 years of senior living experience, Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized care. We are grateful for them. We are grateful for you. Until next time, take good care of each other.